Why are nearly all cases of methanol poisoning among British tourists happening after a night out drinking local spirits in foreign destinations? It's a question that's become alarmingly relevant as more and more travelers fall victim to a hidden danger lurking in their holiday cocktails. Imagine you're on a dream vacation, relaxing with friends, enjoying the nightlife, and suddenly, what should be a fun memory turns into a nightmare. For many, the idea of sipping a cocktail on a sun-drenched beach or toasting with new friends in a bustling city is the highlight of their trip. But beneath the surface of these seemingly innocent moments, a silent threat is waiting. One that can turn joy into tragedy in the blink of an eye. This silent killer is making headlines across the UK and beyond. And you need to know the facts before your next trip. The story isn't just a scare tactic. It's a real and growing threat that's already claimed lives and left families devastated. Every year, more cases are reported, and the numbers are rising. Families who sent their loved ones off for a relaxing holiday have been left grieving, their lives changed forever by a single, unsuspecting drink. The media is filled with heartbreaking stories of young travelers, couples, and even entire groups of friends who fell victim to this invisible danger. Here's what's happening. The Foreign Office has issued an urgent travel warning after a sudden spike in deaths and serious illnesses linked to methanol poisoning. British consulates have reported a disturbing increase in cases, with victims often unaware of the risks until it's too late. The government is urging travelers to be vigilant, and consular staff are working overtime to support those affected and spread awareness. This isn't just a problem for the reckless or the uninformed. Anyone can be at risk, no matter how careful they think they are. 8 new countries have now been added to the high-risk list. Destinations like Mexico, Japan, and Kenya, joining already notorious danger zones such as Thailand, Vietnam, and Laos. These are places where British tourists flock for sun, adventure, and nightlife, but now they come with a serious warning. So, what exactly is methanol, and why is it so dangerous? The list of affected countries is growing, and it's not just the usual party hotspots. Even destinations known for their culture, history, and natural beauty are now places where you need to be on guard. The risk isn't limited to one region or one type of traveler. It's a global issue that can affect anyone, anywhere. Methanol is a highly toxic industrial alcohol, clear, tasteless, and odorless. Unlike the alcohol you find in your favorite drinks, methanol is not meant for human consumption. It's used in products like antifreeze, solvents, and fuel, and even a tiny amount can be deadly if ingested. What makes methanol especially dangerous is that it's virtually impossible to detect by sight, smell, or taste. You could be drinking what looks like a perfectly normal cocktail, completely unaware that it contains a lethal dose of poison. The body metabolizes methanol differently from ethanol, the alcohol found in beer, wine, and spirits. When methanol is broken down, it produces toxic compounds that attack the nervous system, eyes, and vital organs. Sometimes, to cut costs or boost profits, unscrupulous bar owners or street vendors illegally mix methanol into cheap spirits or cocktails. These drinks might look and taste just like the real thing, but they're laced with poison. The risk is highest in unregulated bars, beach parties, and makeshift clubs where quality control is non-existent. In some cases, methanol is added deliberately to stretch supplies or mimic the effects of real alcohol. In others, it's the result of poor distillation practices or contamination during production. Either way, the result is the same: a drink that can cause irreversible harm. Tourists are often targeted because they're less likely to notice the warning signs or question the source of their drinks. The atmosphere of fun and relaxation can make it easy to let your guard down, but that's exactly when you need to be most careful. In many high-risk countries, alcohol regulations are lax or poorly enforced. Street vendors and pop-up bars can operate with little oversight, and homemade spirits are often sold without any quality checks. Local distilleries may use unsafe methods, and counterfeit alcohol is a booming underground business. For travelers, it can be nearly impossible to tell the difference between a safe drink and a dangerous one. The packaging might look legitimate, and the price might seem like a bargain, but the risks are real and potentially life-threatening. Even a small amount of methanol can cause catastrophic health effects. We're talking about sudden blindness, irreversible organ failure, and, in the worst cases, death. Victims often don't realize what's happening until it's too late for treatment. The onset of symptoms can be delayed, sometimes taking hours or even a day to appear, which makes it even more dangerous. By the time you realize something is wrong, the methanol may have already caused severe damage. Hospitals in popular tourist areas are seeing more cases, and doctors warn that treatment is difficult and not always successful. The emotional toll on victims and their families is immense, with many left facing lifelong disabilities or the loss of a loved one. The symptoms can be deceiving. At first, it might feel like a regular hangover: nausea, vomiting, dizziness. But if you start to experience blurred vision, confusion, or trouble breathing, these are red flags that something is seriously wrong. Methanol poisoning can progress rapidly, so every minute counts. The initial symptoms are easy to dismiss, especially if you've been out late or had a few drinks. But methanol attacks the optic nerve, leading to vision loss, and can shut down vital organs with terrifying speed. If you or someone you know starts to feel unusually ill after drinking, don't take any chances. Get medical help immediately. Quick action can mean the difference between recovery and tragedy. The government's advice is clear: only drink from sealed bottles in licensed bars and hotels. If you're offered a drink from an unsealed or unlabeled bottle, politely decline. Stick to reputable venues where you can see your drink being poured from a bottle with an intact seal. It might feel awkward to refuse a drink or ask questions about where it came from, but your safety is more important than social niceties. Licensed establishments are required to follow strict rules, and sealed bottles are your best guarantee that what you're drinking is safe. If you're unsure, don't be afraid to walk away. Your health is worth more than a free shot or a cheap cocktail. Avoid homemade or unlabeled alcohol at all costs. These drinks are the most likely to be contaminated, and the risk simply isn't worth it. If you're traveling to a country on the high-risk list, be extra cautious about what you drink and where you drink it. Homemade spirits might seem like a fun way to experience local culture, but the dangers far outweigh any novelty. Counterfeit alcohol is often sold in reused bottles with fake labels, making it hard to spot. If you have any doubts about the source or quality of a drink, trust your instincts and say no. It's better to miss out on a drink than to risk your life. And steer clear of those tempting bucket drinks or free shots, especially at beach parties or street bars. These are often made with the cheapest alcohol available, and you have no way of knowing what's really inside. The party atmosphere can make it easy to forget about safety, but these are exactly the situations where the risk is highest. Free shots and shared drinks are common at tourist hotspots, but they're also a favorite way for unscrupulous vendors to offload dangerous alcohol. Remember, just because everyone else is drinking doesn't mean it's safe. Look out for your friends, and don't be afraid to speak up if something doesn't feel right. British embassies and consulates are stepping up efforts to educate travelers and provide support in emergencies. If you find yourself in trouble abroad, don't hesitate to contact local authorities or your nearest embassy. They can offer guidance, connect you with medical help, and assist with getting you home safely. Before you travel, take a few minutes to register your trip and save emergency contact numbers. Preparation can make all the difference if the worst happens. If you notice any symptoms after drinking, especially vision problems, confusion, or severe stomach pain, seek urgent medical help immediately. Don't wait for things to get worse. Early treatment can save your life and prevent permanent damage. Hospitals in high-risk areas are becoming more aware of the signs of methanol poisoning, but time is critical. The sooner you get help, the better your chances of a full recovery. Don't try to sleep it off or wait for symptoms to pass. Methanol poisoning is a medical emergency that requires immediate attention. Remember, your holiday should be about making memories, exploring new places, and enjoying time with loved ones, not about facing a medical emergency far from home. A few simple precautions can make all the difference. By staying informed and making smart choices, you can protect yourself and your travel companions. The world is full of amazing experiences, and you deserve to enjoy them safely. Don't let a moment of carelessness ruin your trip or your future. Stay alert, trust your instincts, and always put your safety first. With a little vigilance, you can enjoy your travels and return home with nothing but great stories to tell. Before you head out, take a moment to review travel advisories and safety tips for your destination. Share this information with your friends and family and encourage them to do the same. The more people know about the risks, the safer everyone will be. Your adventure should be filled with laughter, discovery, and unforgettable moments, not regret. So raise a glass to safe travels and make every memory one you'll cherish for years to come.